Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, national parks struggle to stay open, safe during shutdown. Let's take a listen to the video.
Aaron, the east entrance to the Pinnacles, which is just down the road from here, is now only open to campers, and you need a reservation to get in. The west side entrance is open to all visitors, but changes could be in store there as well. A roadblock at highways 25 and 146 now greet visitors at the east entrance of Pinnacles National Park. The only people allowed in are campers who have reservations. This couple had no idea the park is partially closed.
Nobody, no idea. I was looking forward to going hiking today too.
I'm very disappointed. I was looking forward to coming and hike today. It's a beautiful day and now I can't do anything.
This past Sunday, park rangers started restricting access on the east side. Trash was beginning to pile up, and too many cars posed a safety hazard for emergency personnel.
The rest of the national parks that we've been through so far this week have been open. This is the first one that we've come to that's closed.
But more national parks are considering hard closures as the partial government shutdown continues to take its toll. Trash bins are filling up fast and visitors are piling in unsupervised. Pinnacle Park Rangers now considering shutting down the west side of the park to all visitors if a budget deal can't be reached.
It's unfortunate, but I guess that's what happens.
And we're now seeing the impact the park closures are having on park lovers. This young girl has more than a dozen Junior Ranger badges, but one from Pinnacles won't be part of her collection.
New national park that just opened up. I think it would have been really cool if I got to have a Junior Ranger badge here, but since there's no park rangers, we can't do it.
So again, in short, the east entrance to the Pinnacles is only open to campers with reservation. The west entrance continues to remain open for all visitors, but that could change depending how long this partial government shutdown continues. Aaron, Dan.
Hi, Felix. Thank you.
Okay, and there we go on that video and that report. New Hampshire high school employee accused of possessing child sex abuse images. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Tim Callery.
The two charges against them are very serious, and we anticipate more charges.
Conway police received a tip mid-December from the social media website Tumblr, saying that a user uploaded what appeared to be several files of child pornography.
Which is a formality for them. They're mandatory reporters whenever they come across anything that looks suspicious like this.
Investigators eventually tracked the IP address of that account to Jones's home in North Conway. Court documents show that during an interview with police, Jones admitted to recently using his cell phone to access child pornography. He also admitted to setting up cameras to tape a teenage boy he knew and distributing nude recordings of that child.
Oh, shocked. Absolutely.
Superintendent of Schools Kevin Richards says Jones passed all background checks prior to being hired as a paraprofessional at Kennett High School.
We do run the criminal background check and fingerprinting. Nothing came back at all. His references came back fine.
Police say Jones also created fake social media pages to acquire pictures of boys. Authorities are continuing their investigation.
We are looking into everything at this point. I really can't comment on the case. It's active and ongoing investigation.
And now police are using this as a reminder to parents to make sure your children know who they are talking with online. Jones was let go officially from his position this morning. Reporting live in Concord, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Four-alarm garage fire spreads to harbor master's home. A garage fire spread in Salisbury home and rose to 4 alarms Saturday afternoon, according to the Salisbury fire chief. The chief said there were occupants inside the house on Rings Island at the time. They, along with firefighters, are safe with no reported injuries. The home belongs to the Salisbury harbor master, whose wife was inside the home at the time of the fire. She said she was alerted by the fire by people who were driving by. There is no word yet on the cause of the fire, and it appears to be extinguished at the moment. 2 fire departments from New Hampshire provided coverage for Salisbury firefighters while they battled the blaze. Three dead, 4 injured in bowling alley shooting outside Los Angeles. 3 men were fatally shot late Friday and 4 injured when a brawl at a popular Los Angeles area bowling alley and karaoke bar erupted into gunfire that had terrified patrons, some children running for their lives. Airport security workers, New Hampshire farmers, among those concerned about the government shutdown. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Gene Mackin.
For a month or two of pay to make sure that people can pay their bills. But that still doesn't make it any easier when you have to go and explain to your creditor why you may not be paying your vehicle payment or your mortgage.
Chris Allen says more than 200 employees at the federal prison in Berlin are watching every move in Washington, D.C., from correctional officers to counselors and medical staff, hoping they'll be paid but vowing to work regardless.
We do what we do for a reason. And, we'll continue to do that and keep the public safe in the meantime.
Senator Jean Shaheen spoke with local farmers in Concord, concerned about the federal dollars they count on in a few months.
It isn't affecting them yet. It will be later on if it goes into the spring.
And at the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, TSA employees are required to work. We're told transportation security officers will work security checkpoints, paycheck or no paycheck.
You won't see anything unusual. Everything will be normal, because TSOs are dedicated to the mission, and we come and we do our job.
And federal employees here at the airport say they hope the shutdown ends before next Friday, January 11th, payday. In Manchester, Gene Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Sununu calls for a study on New Hampshire's high pediatric cancer rates. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Mike Cronin.
The new year will bring new resources dedicated to a major healthcare issue. According to the Centers for Disease Control, New Hampshire had the highest rate of child cancers from 2003 to 2014.
It's a very serious issue, something we just cannot ignore any longer.
In his second inaugural address Thursday, Governor Chris Sununu called for a commission to study the problem.
We're looking to learn what the real data is, like where are the data points, are there hotspots? And then from those hotspots, what are the potential causes?
Health and environmental advocates are hopeful this will lead to answers.
I'm really glad that the governor has decided to really address this. I hope he puts some good money into it and really gets experts involved.
Former state rep Mindy Messmer has raised concerns of a cancer cluster in a 5-town area along the seacoast.
Well, we definitely need to limit environmental exposures where we can. So I think there should be a review of what we know and where we know about problems that already exist.
She says one of those steps is addressing arsenic in drinking water, which over a long period of time can increase cancer risk. The state just sent a report to lawmakers proposing to lower the arsenic level limit by 50%.
You know, we need to keep our foot on the gas and figure out what we can do to limit exposures in these children that we know about right now.
Regarding pediatric cancers, Sununu says it's time for solutions.
We can talk about pediatric cancer, or we can really start getting to the brass tacks of not just what it is, but where it is, what's causing it.
Sununu says answers won't come overnight, but that he will make this a top priority of his administration. Reporting live in Concord, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Pence calls talks productive, but still no deal to end shutdown. With the government shutdown entering its third week, negotiations between Republicans and Democrats continue as President Donald Trump demands funding for a border wall. Congressional Leadership Staff Vice President Mike Pence, Senior Presidential Advisor Jared Kushner, Department of Homeland Security Kristen Nielsen, Acting Chief Staff Mickey Malvin, and aides met Saturday in the Vice President's ceremonial office to work towards an agreement to reopen the government and fund border security at the behest of the president. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Saturday night, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night, everyone. Bye.